Nothing makes a man more aware of his capabilities and of his limitations than those moments when he must push aside all the familiar defenses of ego and vanity and accept reality by staring with the fear that is normal to a man in combat into the face of death. Major Robert S. Johnson, U.S.A. AF.
Tacos are world-renowned. You don't have to say, I'm a member of the 150th, I'm a member of the New Mexico Air National Guard. All you have to say is, I'm a taco, and everybody knows who you are and what you're doing. Citizen soldiers are answering a call to service that's above themselves, that's service before self.
To those who've had to fly and fight, who have served their country in the sky, with a grateful heart and watchful eye, we and may the faithful, proud machines who bore the sword of freedom on their wings be given the honor such a burden brings when we so that all who see them will know that their freedom was won by the blood that flowed and know that freedom requires a sacrifice. To those who paid the highest price, we remember with a place of honor so deserved. For what flesh and blood and steel have earned, but may the greatest glory be reserved for the colors they so bravely serve. So that all who see them will know that our freedom was won by the blood that flowed.
brother and I built the first man-carrying flying machine, we thought that we were introducing into the world an invention which would make further wars practically impossible. Orville Wright, 1917.
Citizen soldiers are answering a call to service that's above themselves. It's service before self.
Well, the Tacos are a notorious fighter squadron. Started off flying P-51s in the 40s. Tacos have always been known for pushing the envelope.
The National Guard in general, whether it's Air National Guard or Army National Guard, you're a citizen soldier. So in our unit, there's probably about 950 people.
Our primary role is the wartime mission that we have deploying those F-16 aircraft. And after, September 11th, it changed, and we've all deployed in support of the Tacos and the fighters and the pilots and the F-16s.
We've got a federal mission, we've got a state mission. So our state mission has to do with training, but anytime there's some kind of an issue with a fire or flooding or any of those kind of things, then we'll call up the National Guard. Some of it's Army, some of it's Air, and we'll go to help the citizens of our state. That's why we're here. But our federal mission is if there's some kind of a federal crisis going on, the president can activate our unit, and we will actually end up picking up the unit and moving overseas to fight whatever kind of mission we need to do over there. So as a National Guardsman, you have two different missions.
We were assigned to Vietnam. When we got there, they assigned us a call sign, and as I recall, it was something like trike. So if we don't like that one, here's a list of approved call signs. Pick out one that you like, and Taco just popped up. So we grabbed it, and so we've been Tacos ever since.
In the Air Force, if you say the Tacos, they know they're from New Mexico.
If you talk about a regular Air Force unit, you'll talk about the 306 or 307 or the 308 or, unit like that. But when they talk about the Tacos, they don't talk about the 188. They talk about Tacos. And that all came from our reputation that we picked up there in 68 and 69, because for years after that, you'd go up for a refueling mission on a tanker, and the tanker guy would say, hey, Tacos. We came out of there with a really, really good reputation. There was a lot of activity at night, like special forces camps are being hit at 2 o'clock in the morning. They'd call a wing and they'd say, we need a flight of Tacos. Everybody just knew if you're in a tight fix, you needed the Tacos.
We did testing all over the world, starting off in New Mexico and Arizona.
Well, New Mexico is an excellent place for doing those test missions because of the access to White Sands and Holloman and all of that. We flew test missions for government development projects such as the Patriot missile and the F-22, all during the development stages. And there are 8 of us that were assigned to that and traveled quite extensively for being targets, if you will, for the test projects.
I spent 3 weeks in the Pentagon assisting in writing the SON for the A7 night vision goggle system.
We were always conscious of the fact that we had to be ready at all times. So our uniforms were always put up and ready to go.
And we're so proud that we were able to perform just like our forefathers in maintenance and aviators. My father went to Vietnam and Korea with the unit, and it was just a neat ability to be able to produce these sorties, protect the country, to make sure our pilots got up there and did their best and were able to return home. And that was such an honor that we've had as guardsmen, is to be able to carry on that tradition that was started 62 years plus ago with the 150th.
In the United States, we have a National Guard system, and the National Guard is unique in the world. There's not another tradition like that. Like, I've never been a full-timer. I've been a part-timer my entire 26 years in the Guard, and then you do whatever you do on your civilian side of the house. So it carries on a unique tradition in the world and a strong tradition in the United States.
I had the privilege back in 2001 of leading the first combat sortie since Vietnam. That was in Iraq. We took 60 aircraft total, rounded them up, got them all fueled up, went across the border, and then actually took out a surface-to-air missile site. And I had the privilege of leading that whole sortie with all the Tacos. It was really one of my proudest moments. In 2007, we went to Iraq again. We achieved what no other unit has ever done, whether it's in the Guard or in the Air Force, and that's 100% weapons effectiveness.
It's an all-volunteer force, so that's what's great about it. People come out of the woodwork trying to help, and they come together and they work alongside with people that they may not have worked together with, and it's just awesome, the things that they can accomplish.
The diversity of the skills that our guardsmen bring to New Mexico, because they're members of the community, so they might be electricians, they may be firefighters, they may be police officers.
And the tacos have been around the world. We've been to Panama, Alaska, Iraq, Kuwait, Turkey.
We had gone to England, and we deployed with a NATO base out there. We would give support for communications and worked in the communication centers there. I think the thing that I liked the best was the fact that we were known as the Angelada Air Force.
Being in the Air National Guard is all about community. That's where we recruit our people from. And unlike the active duty, our people don't move every 3 or 4 years. They're from New Mexico. Most of them are born here, and they'll spend their whole life here. And in fact, in our unit, we have grandfathers, fathers, and children of those people that are all joined into the unit. So everything about the National Guard is community-based.
My family just real proud of what I do, what my uncle's done. He was in the Air Guard, my brother, sister-in-law, but they're just really proud of being part of the New Mexico Air National Guard.
We had a lot of fundraising for those people during Christmas time that didn't have a Christmas, and we would all donate, put money together, and go to those families and provide them with Thanksgiving dinner or something like that. And that was one of the things that the tacos had given to the community.
We actually have a Janet Vargas Cancer Fund that we support the Ronald McDonald House here in New Mexico. But our mission, to protect lives and property, I mean, we're always called up for the fires in Los Alamos. We deployed as a 150th to be able to provide security and save those people's homes. And we also have missions that do border security as well as hurricanes and tornadoes for the nation.
One of the advantages of a National Guard unit is that you're working with the same people through your whole career. There's good times, bad times, but you share it all together. And that's probably one of the most strongest bonds that you can have.
When you take the oath to protect and defend against foreign and domestic enemies, you do it with the heart.
We are humble. We don't want the attention. We just want to go do our job.
It became very obvious to me when I came here that this was a deeply rooted group of people in this community. Tacos are part of Albuquerque and vice versa. It's just the way it is.
Out of all the 54 units or more in the Air National Guard, 54 states and territories, we were the first to get the F-100. We were also the first to get the A-7 aircraft when it came out. We were the first to do A-7 Low Altitude Night Attack, LANA it's called. We were the first and only Guard unit to get the F-16 Block 40 Lantern. And now that we're not a fighter unit anymore, we've transitioned to a special operations wing. We're gonna be the first unit in the whole Air National Guard to get the CV-22 Osprey.
For decades, we were a fighter group, fighter wing. We always took on the difficult missions. We always took on the short-minute taskings. We were the go-to unit for the Air Force, and so we were always special in a certain way, and going to special operations was kind of fitting. And I think this museum exhibit is a dedication to that heritage that we have as we look forward to the future mission within special operations.
Well, for me, I would say to young people, learn the history of the United States. Know what people have put in the lives that have been lost for our freedom. Don't take that for granted.
The taco call sign was recognized worldwide. And you would fly across the country into different air traffic control zones and as a taco call sign, and you were recognized. And it started in Vietnam, and it continued to represent the quality of the people, the expertise, and the dedication.
The mission of the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History is to function as America's chosen museum for everything nuclear, including aircraft. The tacos were an important part of the defense of our nation through our local 150th Fighter Wing. So they are an emblematic part of our community and a part of the history of our state. The museum was able to acquire the jet that the Tacos most recently flew, the F-16. Beautiful aircraft, but this jet needed some support and some love and care, and we intend to get this jet into wonderful condition, mark it as a Taco airplane, so that it can be something everyone can be proud of.
Having a fighter squadron for decades in Albuquerque was something special. This exhibit will tell part of that story to people who can't see the actual squadron in operation here.
There's a lot of pride and a lot of history that goes along with that, but we have a future as well, and so we're looking for those new recruits to carry on that heritage of pride and respect that the name Taco demands.
The history is one of extreme pride, and so we're just so pleased to have